Spider-Man Last Hunt premieres on January 29th only on LewisFilms. You can watch the official trailer in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my top 5 wants for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. But before we do get into that, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new around here and enjoy all types of Spider-Man content. And make sure to hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you do not miss any more Spider-Man content as soon as it comes out on the channel in the near future. With that being said, let's get into it. Number 5, more Norman/Goblin setup. One thing that I really enjoyed from Marvel's Spider-Man 1 was the fact that Norman Osborn was a very prominent character. He wasn't in the entire story and only had a couple of scenes, but his presence over the entire story was felt. And I think I would love this to be the case going into the sequel. The reason for this is because it's quite obvious that the Green Goblin is going to be one of the villains that is faced in one of the final games. And it's going to be the big boss for Spider-Man in this universe. So I think having that aura and presence of Mayor Norman Osborn over the entire city and over the entire story in this game, especially with the Symbiote stuff happening and all the Harry stuff happening as well, will be really beneficial for that third game where he eventually becomes the Green Goblin. Number 4, Symbiote suit variations. This is something we talked about in my recent rumors video where we've gone through a load of rumors regarding the game, talking about all the different storylines, talking about all the different suits that are going to be in the game. And one of those rumors that I really took a kin to, and a lot of people agree with this point as well, is that every suit is going to have a symbiote variation of it, and I think that is absolutely awesome. What is really cool about this is that no matter what suit you are wearing in the game, you could switch between the symbiote suit and the normal red and blue suit. I say red and blue, but it really just depends whichever suit you're wearing. Just like Spider-Man Web of Shadows, if you guys do remember that video game where we had the symbiote, you could actually switch between the red and blue suit and the symbiote suit, and whichever suit that you wear affects the choices and the decisions you make in that game. It also comes with different combat abilities as well, and I think that'd be really cool to see in this game. Number 3, more side missions. Now what I mean by this is I don't mean the side missions where you're just beating up random bad guys like a group of thugs on the street. I'm talking about the Tombstone side missions, the ones that have actually got some kind of story to them. Because let's be honest, this game is jam-packed full of Kraven, Norman and Venom, and it's going to be a hell of a ride, but sometimes we just want a little break from the main story, and I think what a better way to improve your combat skills than to have more side missions just like the Tombstone one. There's lots of opportunities for side missions in this game, including maybe some Kraven the Hunter side missions, including maybe some Mysterio side missions, because he's been a villain that a lot of people are wanting from this game as well, and they could include different Spider-Man villains, like some people coming in from the Magia crime family, and possibly still expanding that story of Yuri as well from the first game. So there's lots of other stuff that we could see in this game. Number 2, better collectibles. Now in the first game, the collectibles were probably the weakest part of the game. Yes, the story is the main part and the side missions akin to that as well. However, I do think the collectibles can be a fun way to, once again, like I said about the side missions, take a break from that main story and get a sense of accomplishment from something else. Therefore, I think there needs to be a bit more of a challenge with the collectibles in this game, just rather than finding them around the city. Number 1, Harry Osborn to be Venom. Now this is a controversial one. Most people, or at least a lot of people, don't agree with this point. However, I think Harry Osborn being the Venom of this sequel would actually make a hell of a lot of sense. If you really think about it, everyone is saying they'd want Eddie Brock to be Venom, but that means they just have to introduce a brand new character, build him up, and then give him some kind of connection to Peter Parker. Presumably, if they're following the comics route, Eddie will seemingly know Peter because of their fathers and the research that they've been doing together, just like in the Ultimate Comics. However, I think it's perfectly set up for Harry Osborn to be Venom, just because that connection and that friend has already been set up in the first game, and there's no need to set up another character and then just waste away Harry Osborn. Even though Harry isn't present in the game as such, just like Norman, he is very much looming over the entire story, with him being mentioned by MJ and Peter a hell of a lot of times. So we already know that that friendship is there and is spanned back over 8 years. And we also had those little Oscorp outposts where we do things for Harry and get those little voice notes from him. So it's already set up that Harry is the best friend of Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. And what better way to create an emotionally staked story than to have Harry Osborn be the Venom of this game. Now, a lot of people don't really like this idea. However, I think it makes perfect sense. I don't understand why people would want another character to be introduced when a really good story is sitting there right in front of them. Peter wouldn't want Harry to go down that dark path, and then Venom would be corrupting him from the inside out, and this would make Peter emotionally vulnerable, elevating the stakes of the story. And after Peter Peter has had the symbiote and everything is going wrong, the inclusion of Miles Morales could potentially allow Peter to be pulled out of that dark space, and that could be his purpose in this story. So those are my top 5 wants for this game. If you do agree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. If you disagree with me, also let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear all of your thoughts on this, and also tell me your top 5 wants for Marvel Spider-Man 2. With that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Take care, and peace.